Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku is finally here. Should you summon, and will his banner have pity? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We are back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we are answering that age-old question. We are about 24 or so hours away from the release of the long-awaited Daima Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku. So in this video, we are breaking down that question. As always, in order to answer the question whether or not you should summon, we are going to look at three of the following things. Number one, we're going to look at the unit itself. How is the unit doing? And if he in himself is worth your hard-earned dragon stones. Next, we'll take a look, or at least the best of our ability. We will assume who is on the banner and whether or not you should summon based on what is valuable from the banner as a whole. And then finally, we will look at what lies ahead. If you should summon on this banner, what are you giving up in the near future? So with that in mind, let's go ahead and let's hop on in here to the Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. So let's start by taking a look at the unit. So he is demonic power or pure Saiyans, category key 3, HP 200%, and attack and defense 170%, and an additional attack and defense 50% for Dragon Ball Seekers, Time Travelers, and Bond of Parent and Child. So already right there we have one of, if not the best leader skills in the game, right? This essentially gives you access to, right, the whole Pure Saiyans category, and just about every Goku and Vegeta is on this 220% lead. Every Goku and Vegeta is obviously on the 170, but the 220, pretty much any Vegeta post Cell Saga is on Bond of Parent and Child, so he would pretty much, most of the ones you would be using are going to be on that 220. And then of course, right, demonic power covers a lot of characters, such as pretty much all of the Gohans are going to be on the 220, and unfortunately not many of the Piccolos, right? In fact, the only Piccolo that's on the 220 here are Namek Saga. Well, actually, no, I don't think the Namek Saga Piccolos are considered Dragon Ball Seekers. So I think it's just the it's just the new Daima Piccolo. But I mean, it's still not bad, right? If you consider the amount of support that's going to be on this team, right? If you wanted to throw a Piccolo in there, he could fit easily. So with that in mind, right? Really good leader skill. He has an entrance animation there when there's another demonic power ally on the team, or when there are 5 or more superclass allies up on the team upon his entry turn. He gets attack defense 150% permanently and launches an additional super attack. He guards all attacks for 5 turns. After that, he has key 2, attack defense 250% with a chance for him a critical hit and evading enemies' attack, and damage reduction 44%. When activating the active skill or with 12 or more key, he has 200% attack and defense, demonic power or Dragon Ball Seekers allies attack 40% and attack and defense 20% for 2 turns. Starting from the 4th turn from the start of battle, he gets attack 300%, attack 200%, and performs a critical hit when activating the active skill with 12 or more key. When receiving a Ki Blast Super, he has a 70% chance to counter, and with tremendous power, that's a 400% multiplier. And he, for one time only, he has a guaranteed nullification. His active skill can be activated from the 4th turn from the start of battle. It massively raises his attack temporarily and causes ultimate damage. So the way this character works is basically you build him up for 2 turns, right? So his ideal position is that he shows up turn 1 and you get 2 turns of building. If he shows up turn 2, you only get 1, and that's kind of rough. He's gonna be a little bit weaker because this attack 200% right here. So on the 4th turn, he'll get attack 300% for the rest of the battle. So he's gonna be pretty strong there. But the like to take good advantage of the active skill, obviously you want to be using it when you have this extra 200% for that large bonus, and that can only occur on turn 4. So right, you have two choices, right? You can get him turn 1, and then build him for 2 turns, and then use it on turn 5, or you could build him for 2 turns, float him, and then use it on turn 8, right? If you really wanted to try to extend it, right? Because if you float him, right, and he was on your 3rd turn, the next time you would see him on a rotation would be that turn. So that's one way to do it. Or, right, if he shows up at turn 2, you can pretty much you pretty much, if he shows up turn 2, you pretty much only get 1 chance to build, and that's kind of what sucks about that. But otherwise, it's it's still pretty. He's still pretty good. Like he's designed for the current meta that we're in of short burst fights. The hybrid Saiyans fights, the special battle, especially the special battle with this Ki Blast Super. Right, he's going to be near untouchable by the supers in most of those fights. Gogeta can't touch him, Zamos and Rose can't touch him, and the Blues can't touch him. Like it's honestly, like, this is pretty good. So all in all, he's really good. If you guys remember the showcase that Ken and Geppy put out during the live stream, right? Like he's insane on that first on that active skill turn. So all in all, I would say that, as a unit itself, as a hype unit that has been talked about all year, when is this guy coming? When is this guy coming? And he's finally here, and not only is he very likely the best, if not close to the best TUR to release this year, I would have to say that's one in the category for the character. He is worth your summon. If you decide to jump into that banner and you pull Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku, it is going to be of great benefit to you. So with that in mind, of course, we need to take a look at the banner. Now, unfortunately, we don't know what the banner is going to look like, and that's going to be a bit rough, right? Because it's going to be a typical TUR banner, which means the banner won't be animated, which means he's likely not going to show up in the data download. So we have to make our best guesses, and those guesses aren't really going to lead us anywhere good. After all, right? No unit exists by itself. If you're going to jump in a banner, it's probably not going. It may, depending on your box, it may or may not be the most value to you, right? So far we already know, like, the banner unit Piccolo is going to be on the banner, right? The Fizz Piccolo. He's a really, really good banner unit. Supports the Goku, supports other characters who would be on the rotation. Daima Goku, Daima Vegeta, Glorio. So really, really... really, really good there, right? We're essentially 70% support for the Daima characters, which is really nice. And he himself being no slouch either. He's essentially invincible if he's in the 3rd slot. So really good banner unit. Now, as far as returning units go here, right? They moved Cell up and return him on a Baby's banner. So I think it's very likely, considering this guy's leader skill with Pure Saiyans and demonic power with the sub lead for Seekers, I think it's very likely that Kid Goku will be returning on this banner, right? It makes sense. He fits the leader skill, so it's very likely Kid Goku from the Saiyan Day celebration will be returning here. Typically, this guy returns either on the October banner or a Halloween banner. It doesn't seem like we're getting a Halloween banner this year, so he's very likely going to be on Daima Goku's banner. Now, they could do some really shady things like they did with Ent Broly and not return him and save him for New Year's to entice people to summon, and then drop Tao here. That's also very likely, although Tao obviously would not be on the leader skill of the Daima Goku, but it could happen. But I think more than likely Kid Goku is to be the returning unit on the banner. As far as the rest of the banner goes, seeing as this is a Daima character, and so far every time they've released a Daima character, they've had other Daima characters on the on the banner, right? When they did Daima Vegeta's banner, they even went out of their way to return the Daima characters early at the end of the anniversary. So I think it's very likely that on this we're going to see Daima Goku on the banner, Daima Vegeta on the banner, and Glorio on the banner as well, making up a part of the 10 featured units, right? So we have one, Piccolo makes 2, and then Goku makes 3, and then 4, 5, 6, which opens up for 4 more slots, likely to be related to either just random returning banners units from last year. I think if we actually look here real quick on the current banner on if we open up the baby banner right here, right, so we actually had the return of Buhan, who returned again from last year, and pretty much the whole October line, the whole fall lineup returned on Baby's banner. So given his categories here, I think it's a good chance we could see some of the earlier characters from the year show up on the banner from last year. And then possibly whoever's going to EZA. Speaking of that, I'll have a whole video breaking down this separately, but it's very likely we could see, like maybe AGL Kid Gohan on the banner, because he could be a possibility for EZA since he is on Goku's leader skill, or maybe like Teq Ultimate Gohan or something could be on the banner as a character. Pure Saiyans, I mean, literally pick any Goku and Vegeta that's a non-LR and toss them on the banner, right? They could easily put, right, a couple potential super easy A's on the banner, like STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku here, right? They could easily drop him on the banner, as he would be a good link. He would be a good partner for that. Int Gogeta 4 could put on as a easy A partner. So that's, it's hard to say who the last 4 units are going to be, right? Like when we predicted the baby banner, we didn't think they were actually going to drop the entire fall lineup here. We thought maybe like one of these guys would show up, but they literally dropped the whole lineup. So it's hard to say exactly who the last 4 units were going to be, but there'll be someone on the leader skill for Goku. So there'll be a Pure Saiyan or a Demonic Power character, more than likely a character who's already EZA to help out fill out the team, or someone who has the potential to EZA, such as AGL Kid Gohan. So with that in mind, looking at the banner, honestly, I mean, it's honestly not looking too bad of a banner. If you skipped out on Daima Vegeta's banner because it was the end of the anniversary, then you've got a shot at picking up Daima Vegeta again, because the only other time he's returned was on the Hybrid Saiyans banner, and I know a lot of people didn't summon on that banner. So, right, if you didn't pick up Daima Vegeta, he's going to be in a much better spot with Goku and Piccolo supporting him this time around. So, right, Daima Vegeta, good if you didn't pick him up. Daima Goku and Glorio, this one's a little tough. They've shown up way too many times this year. So Daima Goku and Glorio being there is probably pretty good for a lot of players, especially the Glorio. If you don't have, he's still really, really good. But they have returned for a while, and the potential of Kid Goku showing up as well, also really good. So honestly, the banner, just on that information alone, just knowing that it's likely the Daima characters in Kid Goku, honestly, the banner already looks pretty darn good. So honestly, I have to say, that's 1 in the category for the banner. So we have 1 for the unit and 1 for the banner, right? Because potentially this banner has the ability to be really good. Obviously, if these characters are not ended up on the banner, then my recommendation would change. But assuming this is the case, then yes, this is honestly a pretty decent summon banner, because I know a lot of people did not summon fully on these characters' initial banners. So there is that. So all that's left to do is answer the question, well, what lies ahead? If we summon for Goku, what are we giving up in the near future? Well, immediately in the near future, we know we are giving up whatever the next Dokkan Fest is, right? So last year that was Buhan. Hard to say who it's going to be, but I mean, as we know from recent last year, I mean, to be fair, 10-year anniversary had a huge power creep, but December TURs typically don't last that long through the next meta, depending on how it's structured. So that's something worth considering, but I personally don't think next year's going to be too bad, but that is worth noting, right? And then of course the double rates banner for Christmas is also going to be a thing, right? Last year that was Jiren and Gotenks, right? Gotenks on global, Jiren and Gotenks on global, just Gotenks on JP. So double rates banner you're giving up, but the most important thing we have to consider as for a lot of players now, right? If you're someone who skipped essentially the entirety of the year, which most players do, right? Skipping for big celebrations, then you've probably been saving up your stones, if not for the next anniversary, then for the New Year's step up, right? And for a lot of players, this 200 stone step up banner is a really good deal to pick up some of the Dokkan Fests and EZAs you've missed throughout the year. Basically, the way it works is there will be, assuming they follow last year's trend, there will be a festival and a carnival variation with guaranteed steps up to the potential of what you want. Now, last year the carnival was kind of the better deal, but I think this year, just given the level of the Dokkan Fest and some of the characters that a lot of people skipped and may want, I think the Dokkan Fest has the potential to be really good, as this year this could potentially have Gogeta and Golden Frieza on it with Carnival Broly on the other end. So it could end up being a pretty good deal, but basically, right, 200 stones for a full step. First 20 gets you an Extreme Z Awaken, a Super Extreme Z Awaken character. 30 stones in step 2 gets you one of the category lead TURs. Third step gets you, right, one of the TURs from 20. This will be 2024, so up to Tanabata 2024. So this step would be like UI Goku step. Then the next 2020, the early 2023 early 2024 and early 2025 and 2024 units would be on this step, right? So up to, if we're following this trend from last year, it went up to Topo, this would go up to Mercenary Tau. Yeah, it would be pretty good. And then the final step would be the Tanabata banner, Tanabata unit, or TDC unit, the Golden Frieza and Gogeta, and same on the potential for the Carnival, right? Carnival is going to be very same. First step is like a banner unit character. Second step is guaranteed LR, EZA. The third step is going to be, right, the previous Tanabata unit, so Jiren would be here. So guaranteed LR with up to Jiren on this one, right? So this is kind of cool because every step after the first one is a guaranteed LR, right? This one is a guaranteed Carnival step, and then back to Yellow Coin EZAs, and then up to the guaranteed step at the end, which ended with like Jiren, like basically all of that year's potential LR. So this year would be Broly, Pycon, and that's pretty much it. Broly and Pycon, because we didn't get that many yellow coins this year. The last yellow coin we got was the baby Saiyans, which I doubt they'll be on this banner. They're a little too soon. So that's just kind of where that's at. So honestly, I mean, most players should be saving for the anniversary, if not this banner, if you skipped out on most of the year, right? The Carnival or the Dokkan Fest. So that's hard. I think based on what lies ahead and our proximity to the next big celebration, to the anniversary, because most players should be in anniversary saving mode right now, I have to recommend not summoning because of what lies ahead. We're just a bit too close that you're giving up too much potential in the future for the Dokkan, for the big events coming to Dokkan. So really weird situation, because honestly, typically the banner doesn't do too much justice for things, and we end up with one for the character, one for the banner, or none for the banner and none for what lies ahead. But in this case, we actually the character itself and the banner are shaping up to be quite good. but it's just in a bad position in terms of timing. So I think what I have to do here is tier my recommendation. Number one, let's start by saying that if this is a character you've long waited for and you really want, then absolutely go for it. Summon. He's really good. He's going to be worth your stones. However, if you are concerned about the potential of saving for anniversary, then I do recommend going no more than 1 or 2 rotations into the banner, right? This is a TUR banner, which means very likely he should have pity. There is no indication that this is going to be the thank you celebration as of right now, so it stands to reason that there should be pity on this banner. So, you know, 150 stones on your third multi, right? On that 150, you have a guaranteed feature, right? So I would say do no more than 2 of those. So 300 stones total if you are anything below 1,000 stones. And my reasoning for this is, right, when come time for anniversary, you need at least 2,500 to pity one of the anniversary units. You don't want to be walking out of the anniversary without a unit, which means at a minimum, given that an anniversary gives out about 1,500 stones, you want to be entering the anniversary with at least 1,000 stones. So if you're anything below 1,000, I do not recommend doing anything more than 300 stones on this banner. That is 2 guaranteed featured rotations. And if you get them, you get them. If not, then I do recommend you holding off. It is very likely due to his positioning in relation to Daima that he will be on the anniversary banners, returning a little bit sooner than expected for a character typically in this time slot. But I have a feeling he will be on the anniversary banner, so I just wanted to put that out there. Now, if you are, I would say 800 to 1,000 stones, you're probably pretty safe to maybe dip a little bit into the banner, but I don't recommend going too far. If your 1,000 stones are greater, right, so anywhere between the 1,000 and 1,500 mark, then maybe push the 500. Within 500 stones, you could potentially get enough SSRs to pity the unit and get him get your copy of him, right, depending on how many extra SSRs you pull, right? So just throwing that out there. If you're pay to play, low to play, there will be tickets, which means you can potentially pick those up and try to pull him on tickets before trying to pull with your pity stone. So just throwing that out there. But all in all, I do recommend most players save their stones unless you have the stones to carry over and be prepared for the anniversary. At this point in the year, all stones should start moving towards the anniversary. Not because Goku is bad, but because you want to make sure you're starting to prepare and enter that celebration with the best foot forward, and it's very likely Daima Goku is going to show up on that banner. So guys, that is it for the video. That is my recommendation. Again, if he is your favorite character, you have been waiting for him, then absolutely go ham, try to pull him. But if not, and you want to be more conservative with your stones, anything 1,000 or less, no more than 300 stones. If you're less than 500, honestly, I recommend, as hard as it will be, just avoid summoning. I know that's tough. Use your Dokkan Day tickets, but otherwise hold off. And then if you're 1,000, anywhere between 800 and 1,000, then maybe do about 300 stones. Anything above that, then like I said, no more than 500. You should be able to put yourself close enough to pity at that point. It's technically, if you got the worst luck imaginable, it's 700 to pity, but I think you can get a lot of people I have seen get it well within that. So, you know, if you're a pay-to-play, low-to-play player, then it might be worth it considering that. But, guys, that is it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know, will you be summoning for Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku? Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.